Hey guys, this is Steve, and welcome to another episode today of the Little Wood Shop. Well, this is long overdue, guys. I apologize. Last week I kind of threw you a curveball with a blackberry jam recipe. Good stuff, but I know it's kind of off the realm of woodworking. Well, everything that we've been doing lately is kind of led up to this. As part of our log fabrication, doing the bigger engravings. Well, what we're going to talk to you about in this series of videos is going to be how to take one of these big beautiful slabs right here, put it in your machine, plane it down, and then put your engraving in it, okay? A little bit more to it than that as well, but we're going to teach you how to use your laser crosshair, how to build a box, and then how with inside that box you can dimensionally and proportionally take that big centerpiece engraving that you're going to absolutely love enjoying and putting it together with the free package, coincidentally, that we gave you. Go to our website, littlewoodshop.com, go into the free stuff section. There's all kinds of downloads, but one of them in there is a big scene package, okay? Well, to get on with our story, these I get from a local supplier, and I told you, you cannot work a surface until it is truly flat. If you have variances, dips, cups, a high spot, you're not going to be able to mill normal here, and it's 300 thousandths in the 12 inches over, and it's not going to work properly. So with these two pieces, we've basically got our headboard and our footboard. Our headboard we'll probably put a nice big high definition engraving in this one, and then we'll put something very light and subtle in the footboard. We got to keep the cost of these down, obviously, in order to market them. This one, however, I believe may end up being a gift for my darling wife for Christmas, so we better start now. All right. Well, when I pull these slabs in, guys, the first thing I look for is this one's got a lot of neat coloration. Like the last big one you saw, this has got the spalt on both sides. We're going to try to utilize that to our advantage. We have a nice knot here. I don't know how that could play out as either a sun or a moon, perhaps, maybe, I don't know. We have some big cracks. I mark up my material so that I pretty much know all the obstacles I'm going to have. Now, some of these obstacles that you have may turn out to be good things, okay? They may add a special highlight. As in the last video we gave you with that big log bed, all the spalting added like a cloudy sky and a water effect. It just happened to fall right. Well, we're going to try to utilize some of the other effects in this slab. Same thing here. Little bit more spalting in this than the headboard, but still a very nice piece. It's got a really nice natural edge. I'm sorry the video doesn't really disclose it that well. There's all kinds of black lines. There's some blue spalting in this one as well. These are really, really nice pieces. What we're going to do is we're going to pause this video again. You guys know the routine by now. We're going to get one of these loaded into the machine, okay? And then we're going to start the process of showing you guys how to get it square, get it level, get it blocked in place. You don't need something this size moving around on your table because this can become and will pose a safety issue, okay? But we're going to show you how to get this in, get it locked down, and get it nice and safe. I don't want anybody working unsafe, okay? So stay tuned. We'll be right back, guys, all right? Hey, guys, we're back. All right, well, the first step in getting prepared and ready to do these big slabs on top of this machine, and before we even get to that, the first thing I want to stress with you guys is safety, okay? We're talking about heavy material. We're not talking about a little 5x8 sign. You're talking about a 60 to 80, sometimes more, pound-wise piece of material. Now, some of you guys might be running routers. You might be running the Milwaukee like me. You might be running the 2.5 or 2.25 horse. You guys might be running spindles, okay? If you're running a spindle, you've got an ungodly amount of power at your disposal, okay? We're going to be doing this with a spoiler bit. My 1.5 inch spoiler bit is what I use. Now, had I gone and purchased a bigger machine, I would have bought the bigger spoiler bit, but I use a 1.5, it does what it needs to do, and that's what we're going to use on this slab, but okay? please, 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 pay attention. Make sure everything is secured. Make sure you're working safe. I don't want to hear you guys getting hurt, you know, because of something I showed you, all right? Good enough. All right, now, first thing we need to do is we need to determine where the center of the milling is for our particular machine, okay? Now, the way I do this is I'm running my Stinger 2 model SR34, okay? I know that dimensionally, all day long, I can cut 48 by 36 by up to 6 inches or whatever the clearance is under my gantry here, okay? Now, to find out exactly how big your table is, okay? Now, we have reinitialized the machine, we've brought the gantry back, we've zeroed everything out. We're going to test the X and the Y axis on this machine to find out what our maximum travel is. Once your machine's initialized, send your gantry forward. Oh goodness, it helps if I turn the keyboard on. Send your gantry all the way forward, okay? When you get close to the end, slow it down because you don't want to go crashing this thing into the end. It damages the equipment. It's expensive. Okay. Well, I already know what my point of travel is. I am 50.25 inches. I am 50 1/4 inch, okay? Well, just for the sake of argument, we're going to go Y50 point. I'm going to set, right now, I've traveled 50 inches, okay? Now, there's a reason for doing this, all right? Half of 50 is quite simple. 25.0. We're going to bring the gantry back. Now, mind you, I don't know if you can see it or not, I still got my laser on. My laser is just about lined up perfectly with the center line that I had made earlier, okay? Now, as you can see, I told you in other videos, I don't like clamps. I am going to use them in this process, but I generally don't use a clamp. I put a small piece of composite, 3/4 inch by 1 inch wide. I screw it down on my Y-axis, okay? Then I normally have another one going across the X. It creates like a square, like a carpenter square. And most of the milling that I do, I can lock into a corner. And I already have my dimensions written down for where my center points are on certain jobs, okay? Well, in this case, I know that half of 50 is 25. We've made a mark of it with a laser crosshair. I put my speed square on my table, and I mark that right up, okay? Now I also know that my X-axis for my spoiler board on the top is 37 inches wide. Yes, they designed these machines to kind of cheat and squeak out just a titch more, okay? I think on my X I can do like 37.125 or whatever, but point being is you have that little titch bit of extra. Now it's not going to matter because the slab that's going in here isn't even 24 inches wide. But what we need to do is we need to make sure that we're the center of where we're going to start, because I start all my engravings dead center. I don't start my datum in any of the corners. I always start dead center, alright? As long as I know that my slab center and milling point is center on this machine, and I also know that I'm only programming 48 inches wide, I have that extra inch of travel on the Y-axis on each end of the table, just to be sure. But make sure you mark your table. I put a big C with a line on my little piece of composite. The other thing I do is after I have found the center of my Y-axis, I find the center of my X. Well, 37 divided by 2 is 18.5. I made a little mark with my pencil. That's my center on my table. We're going to need to know this for later, okay? Now, with that being said and done, I can move the gantry up out of the way, paying ever so close of attention that I keep I don't crash the gantry. And we're just going to move the gantry and the router just completely right out of the way. We're gonna get it out of the workspace. All right. The next thing we're going to get ready for is we're going to get ready to load the slab. Once the slab is in place, I'm going to show you guys how to find center on your slab and how to build a box using that beautiful laser crosshair, okay? Some of you guys are going to go, Steve, I don't have a laser crosshair, okay? Well, there is a way around that. We'll discuss that as well. Once we get the slab, I'm going to mount it, I'm going to get it secured, and then we're going to talk about how we secure it, how we hold it down, and then how we build our box, okay? So you guys hang on, we'll be right back, all right?